Brand new buyer leaned on the glass last week, doing that nervous smile thing, and the guy behind the counter started steering him toward the loudest, popular 9mm in the case. I watched it happen like a slow wreck. Same pitch I've heard 1,000 times. I said, easy, reliable, perfect. Yes, until it isn't, because I already saw the other side of that sale. Hot range day, people watching, fresh box of ammo, and a safe pick locked up so hard the kid's eyes went glassy. He wasn't scared of the gun, he was embarrassed. And the worst part, he already paid for it. After that, I shot that same gun. No torture test, just beginner mess, lazy grip, rushed presses, cheap ammo. It ran. But something about it didn't forgive anything. Little mistakes turned into big problems fast. So this list isn't best on paper. It's 7 9mm that don't punish beginners. And stay to the end, my number one pick is the one I hand to a first-timer when I don't want them quitting. A buddy of mine bought his first pistol right after New Year's. Didn't want to overthink it, didn't want to spend big, didn't want to lecture at the counter. He walked out with a Taurus GX4 carry, and that simple logic first-timers love. If it runs, I'm good. First range trip, clean. Second, still fine. Hits landed. He started acting like he cracked the code. Then I watched the cracks show up on a rush string. I told him, run one mag faster, don't baby it. He sped up, got a little loose on the grip, and the whole thing changed. Not a jam. Worse. His round started climbing, he started yanking, then he stopped mid-mag and looked at his hands like they betrayed him. That's when he hit me with it. Is it me or the gun? So I took the GX4 and shot it the same sloppy way beginners do. Lazy support hand, inconsistent pressure, quick reload, straight back to the trigger. It ran, but it didn't help him recover from bad habits. It punished them. Every tiny mistake showed up on target immediately. And that's poison when you're still learning what right even feels like. Wallet safe? Yeah. Learning friendly? I don't love it. Nothing failed. It just didn't forgive. And that's the kind of mistake I don't let new shooters make anymore. I skipped over the CZ P-10C more times than I can count. Every shop trip over the cities in Texas, my eyes went straight to the loud names. The ones everybody argues about. The ones the counter guy accidentally puts in your hand. And the P-10C, it just sat there like it was part of the display case. No hype, no push, nothing screaming for attention. Then one day this April, nothing else felt right. So I grabbed it. Not because I wanted it, because I was tired of shopping like a fanboy. Took it to the range with zero expectations. First few shots felt normal, then something weird happened. I stopped thinking. No constant regrip, no chasing the sights, no fighting the recoil. The pistol just settled in and did what it was supposed to do. Track, return, repeat, like it wanted me to succeed instead of prove a point. And that's what easy to shoot is supposed to feel like for a first-time buyer. Quiet, cooperative, boring in the best way. Surprisingly, I found the mistake beginners do. They buy the gun that feels exciting at the counter. The loud one, the everybody says one. Then they spend the first month fighting it and calling that fight training. The P-10C doesn't sell itself. It doesn't flirt with you. It just works. If it's this easy to run, why do new shooters keep walking past it? I still don't have a clean answer. What came after that was the opposite of quiet. And it's the one that tricks beginners into buying the wrong confidence. A guy from a local CCW class bought a Canik TP9 Elite SC because the price felt like a win. For something out the door, and he walked like he just outsmarted every sucker, paying full freight for a name. That's how first-time buyers talk. When they think they found the loophole, then the receipts started multiplying. Holster. Nope, didn't sit right. Another holster, better belt, extra mag, another mag because carry mag versus range mag. A box of ammo that vanished in one afternoon. Then he starts Googling little fixes like he's building a race car instead of learning to carry a handgun. That's the mistake right there. Beginners budget for the gun and forget the whole setup. They treat the sticker price like the finish line, then bleed cash, trying to make the gun feel perfect on their body. And here's what makes it annoying, because the Elite SC earns the hype in a couple ways. The trigger feels way too good for the money. It doesn't feel cheap in your hand. It gives you that okay damn moment fast. But it's also just chunky enough for deep concealment that people start chasing comfort with purchases instead of honesty. So no, it's not a bad pistol. It's a bad first gun trap if you're shopping with your ego and a fake budget. He didn't buy one gun. He bought a whole problem. I remember a phase where I thought I had it figured out. Easy to carry equals good first gun. That was my whole brain. So I started paying attention to the Smith & Wesson M and P9 Shield Plus. At the counter, it felt like the obvious answer. Slim, light, disappeared in the hand. Nothing about it felt intimidating, especially if your hands ran smaller and you planned to carry from day one. It sat there like the adult choice. So I took it out expecting a smooth learning ride. And to be fair, it didn't do anything wrong. It ran fine. Recoil stayed manageable for its size. No drama. But something felt different. Not bad, just tighter. Less room. That slim profile that made it so easy to carry gave me less to work with when I was still learning control. The gun didn't cover mistakes. It showed them. Quick. You got lazy for half a second, and it was already talking back on the target. That's when it clicked for me. Great carry gun. It doesn't automatically mean easiest learning gun. Big difference. A lot of beginners start with what's easiest to carry instead of what helps me learn fastest. I made that mistake. Stay with me, because the last gun on this list is the only one I hand a brand new shooter when I don't want them quitting. The Sig P365 X-Macro felt like it was built for somebody ahead of me. Like it already assumed I knew what I was doing. That sounded cool until I watched what it did to new shooters. Back in 2022, first time I handled the X-Macro, it didn't feel like a start or anything. It felt dialed, tight, like a serious tool. Here's the moment it turned on people. A new shooter ran a simple close target string. Nothing fancy. First few shots looked fine. Then I told him, run it again, same target, just a little faster. He went to speed up, and the gun didn't fall apart. He did. Half-second hesitation before the break. Then a hard press. The dot. His front sight jumped, and he tried to fix it mid-string. Overcorrection. Then another. His follow-up started landing in a stupid little stair-step pattern, like he was arguing with the gun instead of shooting it. The X-Macro kept cycling like it was bored. That's the problem. It doesn't give beginners a loud failure to blame. It hands them a quiet question they aren't ready for. Why can't I make this consistent? That's not where you want to start while you're still figuring out what right even feels like. It's not a bad gun. It's just too much gun right now for a lot of first-timers. Right after the first week of January, my phone rang. And before my buddy even finished the sentence, I already knew what I was going to tell him. Glock 19 Gen 5. His son wanted his first pistol, and my buddy didn't want to screw this up. Not pick the wrong brand screw up. Real screw up. The kind that turns into a drawer gun and a quiet regret. So I said, don't overthink it. Come with me. We drove out toward Austin early. Quiet ride at first. Then the kid in the back seat started asking those brand new questions. What matters? What doesn't? What should he avoid? And I remember thinking, this is where people get lost. Too many options, too many loud opinions. Everybody wants to sound smart. We walked into the shop, and his eyes started bouncing. Models, sizes, price tags, counter talk. He was trying to solve it like a math problem. I didn't let it go that far. I just pointed at the case again and said, start here. Glock 19. No speech, no pitch. Because sometimes the right answer isn't complicated. It's clear. Simple controls. Nothing extra to figure out. Proven enough that you're not guessing. He held it, nodded slow, and I watched his shoulders drop. That was the first moment the whole thing made sense to him. And stay with me, because the last gun is the gun I put in a new shooter's hands when I want everything to finally click fast. One thing I learned watching new shooters is this. The guns that get talked about the most aren't always the ones that help beginners the most. And that pisses people off because everybody wants popular to mean safe. Earlier this year, I watched a new shooter bounce between big name options like he was picking a parachute. Every choice felt like a gamble. He kept asking the same question 10 different ways, hoping the answer changed, so I cut it off. I handed him something he hadn't even considered, Ruger RXM. No big reputation behind it yet, no pressure, no internet voice in his head telling him what he's supposed to buy, just a straightforward modern pistol sitting there like it didn't need permission. At the range, the whole vibe changed. His hands stopped doing that nervous fidget crap. He quit looking at me after every shot. The pauses between shots got shorter, and the targets told the truth. His group tightened without him chasing it, like his body finally understood what it was trying to do. Rhythm showed up. Not forced, not performative, just there. That's the thing first-timers don't realize. Your first gun isn't a flex. It's a starting line, and the right one makes the noise stop. The RXM isn't a status gun. It's better than that. This is the one I hand someone when I don't want them second-guessing themselves. If this is your first 9mm, don't get cute. Your first month decides everything. Either you shoot more, or you start making excuses and the gun lives in a drawer, like a bad decision you don't talk about. These picks aren't about fanboy points. They're about not getting embarrassed and not lighting money on fire because some guy behind the counter talked smooth. Now, drop your first 9mm in the comments, good or bad, and tell me if it actually made you want to shoot more or less. And tell me the one pistol you'd never hand a beginner again, even if it ran fine for you. I'm Steve. Some guns don't fail. They just push people away.